10 rules to get your ex back. Now, recently on the channel, I've been doing a lot of self-improvement work because I feel that is the best way to deal with a breakup, and I absolutely feel it's the best way to get an ex back. But so many of you have been asking me, Nick, how do I get my ex back? What's the best way to get my ex back? What can I do to get my ex back? So, I'm going to give you today 10 best practices or rules, whatever you want to call them, that I believe to be the best way to do it. Now, this is subjective. It's not really based on scientific data, though some of it is based in that. It's more based on observation and what I just feel to be the best path. Now, you may agree, you may disagree. That's okay. You're here for clarification. So, stick around. You may be shocked about what some of these are. With that said, welcome back to the Love Fix. It's Nick, as always, doing my best to get you through your breakups as easily and as healthily as possible, with compassion but with no bullshits. And if today's video is not enough for you, you know what you can do. My details are below in the description. You can email me at thelovefix20@gmail.com and arrange a one-to-one voice coaching session so you can get over your breakup. Let's get into it. Rule number 1. Stop trying to get your ex back. It has to be their idea to get back together because it was their idea to split up. So a lot of people will try to use no contact or this time of separation to manipulate or to weaponize, and whilst you may not be doing that with actions, you're doing it with intentions. So a lot of people do no contact with the intention of getting their ex back. No contact and this time to yourself should be with the intention of looking after yourself, getting yourself back, and just agreeing to the breakup and just giving your ex what they've asked for and what they've wanted. So the more you try to get them back, the more they will likely slip through your fingers. So the aim here should always be to get you back, not your ex. Counterintuitive, I know, but what other choice do you have? You don't really have any other choice in the matter. They have made this decision without your consent, and now you're having to live with the consequences. And the consequences will catch up with them sooner or later. As I've mentioned in many videos, you can go back and check my playlist. The stubborn dumper, the dumper's remorse, the stages of a rebound relationship, when the dumper will start feeling pain, that kind of thing. But for right now, you need to focus on you. You need to focus on just leaving them alone and stop trying to get back a dead relationship, because if they do come back, you have to start a new relationship as if they're a new person, and you have to start the dating process again from scratch. That means relearning a lot of things. Rule 2. Give a fuck more about yourself than your ex, the relationship, or the breakup. That's right. You have to be 100% selfish with this process, because your dumper, your ex, is now off on their journey and they're focusing on themselves. And sure, they will be thinking about you from time to time. They will be thinking about their decision, and given enough time, they may reconsider that. But in the meantime, you have to work on you. You have to give yourself unconditional love. You have to give yourself the time and the space required to just upgrade, to enhance yourself, to learn to be by yourself, because being with someone is not a need, it is a want. So when you do get with someone, you have to be in the mindset of, okay, I'm inviting you to join my journey. So I'm okay being by myself. I give a fuck more about me than I do anyone else, because, and I've used this terminology before and I've used this analogy before. What do they tell you on airplanes during an emergency? Put your mask on before you help anybody else. Make sure you've got oxygen before the person next to you has oxygen. And the reason being is, how the hell can you turn up for anybody else if you can't turn up for yourself? And this is why I feel a lot of relationships fail, because your partner will be subconsciously or otherwise constantly assessing your viability as a partner. Now, I don't think people go out of their way to do this. I just think we've got some biological drivers inside of us that determine this. So you have to show up for yourself, because if you don't show up for yourself, they're going to be thinking, well, how are they going to show up for me when I'm not around? If someone's saying bad things about me, or when I actually need support from this person, when life is getting bad, I need them to show up. So give a fuck more about you than you do anybody else on this planet. And I promise you, your friendships and your relationships and the dynamics with your parents and with your family will more than likely improve. So when the time comes, if they do actually reach out to you, if they start testing the waters, they're going to see these improvements. They're going to think, wow, they're turning up for themselves. That's attractive. That's what I want. This is what I tried to communicate before I broke up with them. Now they're finally listening. Now they're finally doing what I expect from a partner. Rule number 3. Give your ex the freedom to be away from you and explore life without you. And I know this is a tough one to hear, guys, and a lot of the time that means letting them explore other partners, letting them explore single life, letting them explore a world without you. And us, well, not me personally, so I've gone through this phase already, but Dumpees typically cannot handle that. They cannot take that kind of knock to their egos, because it's like, oh my god, how dare they? I thought I was the center of their world. And this is where I think a lot of Dumpees go wrong. And the second you put yourself on that pedestal where you think they would never leave you, where you think they love you unconditionally, and I've made comments about unconditional love before, it doesn't really exist unless it's the love for yourself, you're going to find this part very, very difficult. But the counterintuitive part is that if you let them go off and experience the world without you, they may just find it's not as good as they thought it would be. And in the meantime, if you're following the rest of these so-called rules that I'm putting together for you here, and you are working on you, and you are making steps to improve, eventually, when money runs out and their Saturday evenings start to get lonely, they will start thinking about the times and the places and the people they were with that made them felt safe, and that will be you. And they may just start testing the waters. They might just start dipping their toe in to see the temperature, or just getting the lay of the land. Are you angry? Are you pissed off? Are you receptive? Are you working on yourself? Are you making yourself more attractive? Are you getting back to that person that they originally fell in love with? Because that's conditional love. They fell in love with the person that they originally met a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and somewhere along the line you haven't maintained that, or you've not leveled up, or you've not improved. Okay, so that's why it's conditional at all times. So, and here's another condition that they're giving you right now. Leave me alone. If you want me to reconsider our relationship, leave me alone. Let me go and figure this out. And to put the disclaimer in, guys, some exes don't come back, and some relationships are just meant to end. Most people are just not compatible. And I've said many, many times that I do generally believe that 80 to 90% of all relationships out there are dog shit, because people do not understand compatibility. And people do not see the red flags, and they stay together just because it's better to have a crap relationship than no relationship. So give your ex the freedom, and it's the only real choice you have. And they may not come back. They may find something better. That is a possibility. But to improve your chances, to give yourself the best possibility for a reconciliation, you must let them go. And the cliche saying, sayings become cliche because they're true. If you love me, you'll let me go. So love them enough and love themselves enough to say, okay, I hear you. I don't agree with your decision, but I do respect it. And if you change your mind, you give me a call. Rule number 4. Under no circumstances do you accept friendship. It's romance or nothing else. Make your intentions very, very, very clear with your ex. Because most dumpers will hit you with the friend bomb. Oh, hey, can we still stay friends? And there is one reason, and one reason alone, that they do this. Now, most dumpers won't admit to this, and maybe they're not even aware of it because it is a subconscious thing. They are offering you friendship because they are using you to get over you. So, you as the dumpee, you have to be strong here. Because a lot of dumpees will hang on to the remnants of that relationship, that dead carcass that the baby monkey, sorry, the mother monkey is carrying around, and you see on the wildlife shows the baby, the poor baby monkey dies, and mummy monkeys, carrying it around for days and then hoping that baby monkey is going to wake back up. And this is what a lot of people do with relationships that have failed, that have ended. You're carrying around the dead carcass that used to be your relationship, and you've been demoted to a friend. I'm not saying it's impossible to be friends with an ex, but you can't do that right now, especially if you're still in love with them, if you've got romantic feelings, if your intention is to reconcile. You can't do that right now. Now, maybe in a few years where you've moved on, you're dating someone new, they're dating someone new, it's no longer weird being around each other, the feelings have gone, and you can catch up for a coffee every now and then because they're genuinely a nice human being. You got on at one time, and maybe you're great as friends, but you're terrible as partners. But under no circumstances are you to accept that lowball offer of friendship, because all that would do, it will diminish your position, it will diminish your strength, and all that is doing is validating your ex's decision to leave you. All it does is further enhance their power over the situation. And I made a video recently about taking your power back, and the best way to take your power back is to remove yourself from the equation, is to care less than they do. Rule number 5, you are dead to me now. I know, right, this bit's a little bit strong, but bear with me, and it may be a little bit triggering. When it comes to grieving a relationship, you are essentially grieving someone that is still alive, and this is why I would argue in one context that it's probably in some way harder to get over a breakup than it is a death, because with death there's a finality towards it. That person is never coming back, and as heartbreaking and as terrible as it is, and I'm not trying to compare a breakup to a death, don't misunderstand me, I'm just saying it's very, very hard to grieve something when there's a possibility of that person actually coming back. With a death that's personal to you, you don't actually have that chance. So our brains do this weird thing where it clings onto a reality that doesn't actually exist, and this is where the notion of hope is actually a silly one, because hope is just an approximation of us believing that we can influence people and events outside of our control. So you have to act as if this person's disappeared off the face of the earth. That means coming off their social media, and guys, please, please, please do not stalk their social media. I know the temptation there. I get why you do it, but you must stop. For your own sanity, it must stop. If this is one thing I would tell anybody, do not go on their social media. You need to vanish. And also, do not post passive-aggressive messages on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever you want. Yeah? Don't do it in places where they can see it. Sure, speak to your friends, speak to your family, speak to me, email me, coaching sessions, speak to a therapist, whatever. Just don't do it in front of them. As of right now, until they reach out and say, hey, I've made a mistake and I want you back, they are dead to you. That's the mindset. That is the mindset to have. And I'm not saying don't be a human being about it. If they reach out and they're in trouble and they need help, like something's bad happened to them, and you can genuinely help as a human being, then you should. But your intentions are everything. Do not do that with the intention of martyring yourself or white knighting or throwing yourself on the sword. Do it with the intention of just helping out another human being. Rule number 6, have the mindset of everything happen exactly the way you wanted it to. Have the mindset of the breakup is the best thing for you at this point in your life. Now, again, counterintuitive, I get it. But mindset is everything going through a breakup. It's everything for the recovery, and it's everything to get a reconciliation as well. Because your ex dumped you because something stopped working for them. And typically speaking, that's been building for a long time. Now, it could have been that you stopped taking care of yourself physically, mentally. It could be that your political views changed. Okay, that's personal to you, whatever it might be. But you must have the mindset of, I am where I am meant to be right now. I'm exactly where I'm meant to be in life. I'm here going through this because I need to go through it, and because once I've gone through it, I will level up. I will be more experienced. I will be tougher. I will be fitter. I will be mentally stronger. Whatever you want to do it. But if you can flip that switch in your head and have that mindset, you're far less likely to reach out to them because you are on your purpose and you're focused on you. And that is the whole point behind having this mindset, is stopping you from reaching out to them. And also, if they bump into you, or they see you on social media, or they ask a friend of a friend about you and they say, yeah, oh, they're doing great. They've visited other countries. They've started a new business. They just got promoted. That's attractive. That is super, super attractive because you're on your purpose. And in fact, my girlfriend actually tells me one of the most attractive things about me is what I do on YouTube and the one-to-one coaching sessions, because she sees how passionate I get about it. She sees how I just want to help out people and get them through a bad time. And she said this to me the other day. She said, I don't think you realize how attractive it is to see someone that is on their purpose like that. So get on your purpose. Find something that gives you purpose. All right. Now, I never set out to start this channel or do coaching to make myself more attractive. For me, it started off as a coping mechanism through my breakup. It then became, okay, I'm telling a story. It then became, okay, guys, here's some of the mistakes that I made, try to avoid them. Then it became, oh, I can actually help people get through this. Find your purpose. Rule number 7, fix the shit you got wrong. Guys, goes without saying, if your ex was telling you for a long time that, hey, you need to lose weight, or you need to work on your insecurity, your jealousy, your mental health, go and fix it. Because, guys, they were probably right. Now, again, I know that might be triggering, but one thing I will do, and I say all the time, when I'm on the phone with my clients, I'm always on their side, compassionately, and I will always back them up. I will defend them to the hill, but I keep them accountable. And I'm going to keep you accountable right now. Fix your shit. Whatever it is. We've all got problems. We've all got things that we can do better. Fix it, because if your ex gets curious, if they reach out for a reconciliation, they're going to be looking at the stuff you got wrong. And they're going to be looking at, are you working on it? Are you on your way to fixing it? Get out there, and whatever it is, just get it done. Rule 8. Live your life and step out the comfort zone. And this comes back to the abundance mindset. This comes back to doing things that make you more attractive. Okay, so get out there, volunteer, start new hobbies, start a new job, go visit new countries, go on long walks, meet new people, volunteer. Do stuff outside of your normal day-to-day. Do stuff outside of work, and coming home and doing domestic stuff. And that, by default, will make you more attractive. So you need to step out of the comfort zone. We get so comfortable with being unhappy, miserable, being in an anxiety spiral all the time. You have to break up with the breakup. So get out there and get uncomfortable, guys. Like going to the gym, lift weights until your muscles burn, run until you can't breathe anymore. Okay, look, if you've got medical issues, you have to be very careful with that. So I'm trusting you guys to exercise a bit of restraint and know your limits and responsibility. But, 5% outside of your comfort zone won't hurt most people. So just go and do it, guys. Just pick something scary, go do it. Rule number 9, abundance mindset. Your ex is one of almost 8 billion people. So, guys, get out of the mindset of one-itis, that person was the only person for me. That is absolute bullshit. Okay? The world is bigger than your ex. And if you have that mindset, that is also attractive, because your ex will if they start looking into you and start stalking you on social media or start asking about you, and they're finding out that you're out there living life and going on a date here or there, then you're going to improve your value, because your ex is going to understand and know that they could possibly lose you forever. Because most dumpers, unless it's you've gone beyond that point of no return, which could be various reasons, but most dumpers will still keep you as a backup option because they've got that power. They're on that kind of pedestal. So take them down off it with an abundance mindset. It's like, yeah, you know what? I thought you were everything. I thought you were the best, but yeah, you know what? I'm actually meeting some new people. They're showing me some new things, and I'm okay. I'm not really that fussed if you come back anymore. But, if you do come back, let's have a chat and we'll see what happens. Rule number 10, let the relationship die. And I realise that I've already kind of sort of mentioned this already, but this is an important rule. Let it die. The relationship's dead. It's gone. Bury it. Leave it alone. Okay? Because if you keep trying to rehash the past, if you keep trying to bring up the relationship, especially when your ex reaches out to you and you keep talking about your feelings, you keep talking about what happened, all you're going to do is push them away and validate their decision to leave you. Let it die. You only speak about it if they speak about it, if they bring it up. And then if they do bring it up, you start trying to filter and funnel the conversation into a new relationship. Okay, we need to go to therapy. We need couples counselling. We need to start again. We need to rediscover how fun we are, how much we made each other laugh, how much we love about each other. And that means you've got to remove the tumours that were on the last relationship. And that typically means, okay, look, let's just leave it buried, dead and buried, and we start something new. And this is where pretty much everybody goes wrong, especially in reconciliations. And I've helped many people reconcile, and I've warned every one of them, guys, do not restart the old relationship. And that information falls on deaf ears. 6 months later, they're back on the phone to me with a coaching session saying we broke up again. But that's not always the case. Some relationships are just meant to stay dead and buried. So, again, compatibility. You've got to find this out right at the beginning. So many people stay together because they ignore the red flags. They don't understand compatibility, or they have compatibility and no chemistry, or they have plenty of chemistry and no compatibility. So screen very carefully if they come back. Find out if your ex, have they been doing the work on themselves? Have they been improving themselves? Have they leveled up because they got shit wrong as well? And do this with new partners. Are they on your level? Think about it. I'd much rather be single the rest of my life than be with the wrong person. But most people would rather be with the wrong person and be miserable than be single. And that, my friends, is quite cancerous. That's all for today. I hope this has been of help. As always, you are enough, you can do this, and you will be okay. And if you need my help, you know what you can do. thelovefix20@gmail.com, and we can set up a one-to-one session, and we can get you on the road to recovery or reconciliation. As always, my name's Nick. I'll see you on the other side.